It has been a fair while since I've been into my local CEX, and I seem to say that more and more recently. I'm not really sure why. I think it's because they don't really stock that many promo copies. We've been through this recently. I'm obviously in search of Xbox 360 promotional copies, and my local never has them, to the point where I don't even think they trade them in. But that being said, I'm going to take a quick look around to see if there's anything I can spy. And there's been a bit of a change. They have not rearranged the entire store, but they've rearranged a lot of it. So this is the PC section. It used to be over here. This is the original Xbox section, and oh my days, is this a sorry sight. I mean, there are some games there, but it's spread across, what, 5-6 shelves, and there's about 7 different titles, and this is the first of many random thing I saw on the shelf, and you will do. That was Family Guy season whatever it is, but you will see loads of random DVDs on random shelves, games that don't belong in the right section on random shelves. I have no idea what has happened in this CEX over the past few days, but it is a mess, and it's normally a bit untidy, but this is outrageously messy. And I know what you're thinking, is it half term? Not here it isn't, no. So I don't really know what has happened. I know I said that they've rearranged an awful lot, but the PlayStation 2 section, for example, looks absolutely decimated, and they haven't touched this. This is in the exact same place. FIFA's for days, iToys for anyone who wants one, Half-Life there. Something worth noting though is this. This is my first sort of tip of the day. So these Buzz games, not all of them, but some of them can be worth picking up to flip or to trade. Jungle Party being one of them, used to be worth a little bit more. Obviously stay away from this one, like the Sports Quiz for example. You know, you have to look them up. There's a lot of those Buzz games, and if you have the controllers as well, they can command a little bit more money. Call of Duties across the board are going up in price. You'll see it in the Wii, or on the Wii in just a second as well. Not all of them are worth a lot of money, but they will do. You know, they'll always go up in price, those sort of first and second iterations of Call of Duty. Burnout games are going to do the same as well, because they are becoming a rare breed. You don't really get games like Burnout anymore. It was revolutionary when it came out. In fact, I played it the other day when I picked up a PS2 controller. First game I put into the console was Burnout 3 Takedown. The soundtrack is amazing. The gameplay is fantastic. Didn't know Haunted Mansion existed on the PS2. Looks interesting to say the least. And as we move over to the back end of the PlayStation 2, I mean, there's just so much space, not enough games. They used to have hundreds and hundreds of PlayStation 2 games in this CEX store, and they've just sold them all by the looks of things and not got any more in. People just do not trade them. I'm wondering how many they actually sell. You know, I never really see people selling PlayStation 2 games apart from the obvious, you know, Tiger Woods, FIFAs and Rugbies and that kind of thing, you know, the titles that nobody wants. Then we get on to another sorry state of affairs, the Wii U. I'm glad I gave up on this, if I'm honest, for several reasons, one of which is that there's just a lack of games to find. I know there's not that many games on the system in general, and I know that it was sort of binned off before it even got going, because it was never going to get going, but yeah, there's just you just never see anything different. There's no variety there. It's always the same 5 or 6 games, even though there are a lot of different games on that platform. The GameCube section is probably the worst. That's not the DS section next to it, by the way. That's just a rogue DS game. The DS games are downstairs. I never look at them because I don't have any interest whatsoever in collecting DS games. I did for like a week, and then I came to my senses. This is the Wii section across 3 different bays, and again, it is a mess. It's actually tidier than most sections within this CEX store. House of the Dead 2 and 3, fantastic game, up to £8, up from I think 5 or 6, which was the last time I saw it. Again, Call of Duty's there, just Black Ops for a £5. That is not expensive. I know £5 for a video game is not expensive, but when it's on the Wii, I think, and I've mentioned it before, Wii Call of Duty games, at some point in the future, every single one of them will be worth something. And the reason for that is because of the unique way that you will play these games on the Wii. It's set up for it. You know, you've got your gun essentially in your hand. It's a really, really good setup. It's actually a lot of fun to play Call of Duty games on the Wii. The staples on the Wii are actually really cheap. You'll see them be picking up like most Mario games there. A lot of them are under 15 quid. Some of them are even under a tenner. And then not one of the most expensive, but sort of toward that back end price, not the Simpsons, the Super Mario All-Stars, 20 quid. This was a really nice condition one as well. Honestly, it felt like and looked like someone had literally just taken the cellophane off it. I said literally a lot then, didn't I? As we move downstairs, we are having a look at the PlayStation 4 section. This is a big section. They have a lot of selection, but it's a mess again. And not only is it a mess, there's just rogue games everywhere. There's a lot of PlayStation 5 things just mixed in. The one thing that caught my eye is this. Deadpool. Look at the state of this. £52. It probably wasn't even £52 when it came out. It's because of the film, the one with Wolverine in, of course. I'm not sure whether that's out yet or coming out very soon. But still, £52 for that game. Absolutely outrageous. Not the last time I'm going to talk about Deadpool in this video, incidentally. I will get to that when I get to it. A few other games that I was just sort of perusing, just seeing if there was anything on offer. The one thing I'm actually, or was actively looking for here, and I do find some, not on the PlayStation unfortunately, steelbooks. It's been a long time since I've walked into a CEX and thought, right, let's try and make money from CEX by looking for steelbooks. And it's not easily done, because it is just luck at the end of the day. If they don't have any, they don't have any. But 9 times out of 10 you'll find at least one, and they can be worth a lot more than what CEX are selling them for, because as we all know, they sell them for the bog standard price of a normal game, unless it's sort of coming with a figure and a poster and all the rest of it. Never seen that cover before, not that that would really make much of a difference, because of course you don't get like DLC and stuff with those type of things. But as we move on, lots of Lego on the bottom shelf, and this is another rogue game there, Dirt 5 on the PS5 mixed in with the PlayStation 4. It's not even close. It's like a bay behind and off to the right, the PlayStation 5 section. So it's either someone got very confused, another PlayStation 5 game there in GTA, and just thought that they had a PlayStation 5, but they didn't, and then came over to the PS4 and was like, oh yeah, I don't have that, let me put these down. Really confusing stuff. Police Simulator, £28. These games always hold value. It's because they don't make that many of them, and they are unique at the end of the day. Much like Power Wash Simulator. I mean, how weird is it that people will happily sit down and wash like driveways, cars, houses and stuff in a video game, and earn money in a video game that you can't spend and do anything with. But then if you just went out and did that for real, you know, you'd get paid for it, and you're doing the same as what you would do in the video game. Does that make sense? House Flipper, on the other hand, that's different. You can't, but not everyone can go out and just buy a house, do it up and sell it on. I understand those type of games, but it's a bit weird. Last Bay, and again, mess and a half. I mean, there's things everywhere. They've sold a lot of Uncharted recently. There's a guy behind, I don't know if you've just seen him, there's a staff member, pricing things up, so they are rejigging the prices. The one thing that I noticed he wasn't doing, though, not that I'm criticising, but he wasn't tidying up as he went, which is a bit weird for me, someone who has worked in retail, someone who has worked in video game retail, to say the least. So, yeah, a bit weird. Hell Let Loose down to 15 quid. That was not 15 quid not that long ago, but the big shock is yet to come with Hell Let Loose, and I'll get onto that as we move over to another section. See, I sort of half tidy up as I go, not properly. I was looking for Little Nightmares. This is a game that I'm taking inspiration from. If you didn't know, I have started my game dev journey. Not that I will ever become one properly, but still, I've started sort of creating video games and just messing around with that type of thing, and 2D platformers is kind of what I'm looking at. So I'm kind of watching videos of people playing them. I'm trying to play them myself. It's a bit difficult when you don't have a 2D platformer sort of system to play these games on, or I kind of do, but I don't have the games to play them. So may have to look at that at some point in the future. You can see what I can see, and that is mess on mess. This section's actually not that bad. The section we just left was an absolute disaster, but there's actually some games on these shelves, so it is actually looking a little bit tidy. Deadlight there for 6 quid. You could pick up some absolute bargains on this system, and I thought I found one with my first steelbook of the day. I did actually find another steelbook, which was another Call of Duty, incidentally, which you may or may not have seen just a second ago. This is Infinite Warfare, I think, with like Modern Warfare campaign, and I thought, wow, that has to be worth money, because the campaign alone is worth money, right? Surely. I'm not sure whether it's DLC only or not. Found a promo game in this CEX, which is very rare. That never happens. Only a $5 as well, but I refrained from buying it. I do collect promo copies. I'm not moved on to the Xbox One just yet, so that's kind of why I waited. That Call of Duty, incidentally, I did keep it in hand because I did look it up, and it's around 10 quid on eBay. So even though you could buy it for 4 and sell it for 10, when you take into consideration fees and postage and getting damaged potentially and things like that, not really worth the effort that it would take to actually sell it on. Wouldn't really make an awful lot off it, so I decided to leave it, and I don't really want to collect it personally, so I'll leave it there for someone who does want to collect it. You can say all you want that I'm a bit of a a scalper or a vulture and that I will just pounce on any profit that I can. But at the end of the day, look, I'm not a really horrible person. I know someone will want that for their collection, and £4 is much better to pay than 10, 12, 15, including the postage and everything on eBay. So I left it there for someone else to come along and pick it up, and if they want to try and make money from it, then, you know, go for it. But hopefully anyway, it's a collector. So a Hellraiser box set there mixed in with the PSP games. I don't really... Look, see onto the left there? Just a Blu-ray collection from Hellraiser mixed in with PSP games. I had no idea what was going on in this section today, in this store even, not this section. There's things everywhere, and most of them I didn't catch on camera, but I don't understand it. I see the odd thing every now and again, like an original Xbox game mixed in with Xbox, or a rogue DVD somewhere, but it's just crazy how many things are out of place. Deadpool, £18 on the Xbox 360. That will absolutely 100% go up further before it comes down, and the reason is because of that film and the fact that the PlayStation version is so expensive. A lot of people always message me and say, hey, I've just found loads of bundle copies and I thought of you. I don't collect bundle copy just because it has that sort of strip or banner going across the front of the game. It has to say promo. It has to be faded cover, faded spine, and it'll say promotional copy, not bundle copy. So I do appreciate people who think of me, but it's not bundle copy I'm after. I know a lot of people are like, well, what the hell is the difference? Literally just the faded cover. So to please me, all you need to do is buy 360 games and put them in the sun for a while until they fade, and I'll be happy, kind of. So some games on this system that are going up, games down here, for example, Need for Speed Carbon. This made me smile as well because there's still a Game Station sticker in the top right. Oh, I remember writing out those bad boys. But £15 up from a £10 or even £8 once upon a time that was. So yeah, it's going up. And the reason it's going up, of course, is because it's the second best one on the system. Most Wanted being the best one. And that thing is just flying in price. So Carbon is naturally going to go up. Red Dead Redemption Game of the Year. Let's hope they... I say let's hope. If they made a live action Red Dead Redemption like they've done with Fallout and The Last of Us, it would be absolutely phenomenal. But if they ever announce that, and same with any other TV show from now on, if they ever announce it and I actually intend on buying the game for my collection at some point, I'm going to do it sooner rather than later, because I've missed the boat with that Fallout Game of the Year. The Las Vegas Game of the Year edition is now £35, whereas it used to be 18, 20. Absolute nightmare. Alone in the Dark there with Jim Hopper himself in the bottom left. Looks like a really interesting horror type game, which I know almost nothing about. I think I've seen a trailer to it. It looked interesting, but it's been that long. This game now is down to £6. Callisto Protocol, I think it is. I still haven't played it. Many people have told me to pick it up, that I would enjoy it, and I honestly think I would, but still haven't played it because I am lazy. But that being said, I had Spy and Hell Let Loose over there. Remember when I said that I didn't know whether to buy it or not because it's a it's a online only game? I don't really see the point in owning a physical online only game, because at some point the servers are going to close. Then what are you going to do? It's a relic on the shelf, but it is coming down in price. £18, still too much to pay for a game that in 5-10 years time will be worth a penny, but for now anyway, not bad. £18 if you don't have it through PlayStation Plus or Game Pass or something. A few other games here that I noticed that were sort of stagnant in price. Nothing's really moving too much on the PlayStation 5 right now. A couple of games are down, but the one thing that I noticed as well is that they still have their super rare game just above me here. I'm about to pull it down. It is Sauce of Madness. I think it's still £35, and I think it was last time I was there as well. I did pop into Asda on the way home, and I noticed one game in particular right now is down in price. They probably have loads in stock. It is FC24 on the PlayStation 4. This was £21, which may sound like a lot of money for a game that's almost dead at this point, right? But that trades in for £30 voucher in CEX, and I think it trades in for just a tad more in cash, or maybe even the same in cash. So I don't know about the Xbox One version. I would imagine it's less, but the PlayStation 4 version, if you're interested in a free £9 voucher, if you're willing to spend £30 in there anyway, go into Asda first, pick up FC24 and take it into CEX and get that £9 voucher. So that was a quick look around my local CEX. Let me know if you've gone into yours recently, maybe found a steelbook or a game that they've undervalued, a game that they haven't changed the price of yet. I found them a few times in the past. Maybe if I'd got there a bit quicker, I would have found a PlayStation 5 game undervalued because he was pricing those up. If you want to check out a video from my series, which we will continue very soon, you can click here, and until the next time, goodbye.